Nosotros empezamos a venir como en 2009.
I came to the country in 1990.
I came here to the United States back in 1992.
They lived in very small apartments. They didn't have anything. They didn't have a car.
A lot of these families that are struggling in our community have left their home fighting to get what they need here to survive.
You don't know how to find a doctor, where to go when you're sick.
I was a teenager without a mom or dad around me to guide me in the right direction.
One day I ended up in the hospital and nobody understood what was happening because you don't speak the language.
I'm going through this. I'm going through the most deepest pain that people don't see.
People are scared, the doors are locked.
And he just said welcome, as simple as that, like welcome.
You just know that if you ever need someone, you can count on Father Frank.
He was doing a lot of things that only a father would do. When I had my first car, he used to do the oil change.
Me getting into college, getting his reference.
Like I said, he helped me so much.
When they're in need, they know that they can turn to us for help. I've always felt God's blessing to be able to bring His presence into people's lives. Your fear is my fear. Your suffering is my suffering. Your needs are my needs. In many ways, how I see my priesthood is just to be there present with the community.
The immigrants coming in here, he's helped them in many ways, giving them transportation and help making sure that they have the proper health care, shelter, food. He has gone way above and beyond for these people.
When you're a teenager with problems in your family, you don't look at yourself like you're worth it. And he reminded me of that almost every day.
And because people didn't have transportation, he would go and bring them to the masses.
I would see when the kids would get on the bus and Father Frank would drive us and making sure that we get to our house, and him knowing each other's names and him knowing everyone's background, understanding us in different ways.
And he has a very good memory because he's hi Luis, hi Victor.
People are looking for God's presence. By saying yes to God, it has changed my entire life. I'm Father Frank Depman, priest here in the Archdiocese of Philadelphia and pastor of St. Rocco Parish. And St. Rocco Parish was originally started as a mission community serving the Spanish-speaking in southern Chester County in 1990. I always wanted to be a missionary. Missionary priests had come to the school and talk about their stories, and it really piqued my interest. But then I realized I could do missionary work right here in the Archdiocese.
When he first came in '91, our parish had gotten really small. There was about less than 50 people that were coming to Mass at that time.
Many of the men were living in the mushroom farms. They didn't have their families here, and then they passed the Family Fairness Act, and then the community just kind of exploded. So all the men were able to begin applying for their wives, their children.
He started a youth group, which we didn't have that. So he brought in a lot of youth into our parish.
Some of my friends from school were already going to the youth group, so I started going with them, and that's how I met Father Frank.
For many of them, they've achieved what you call the American dream. They started with almost nothing, and they're working around the clock, and they were able, a lot of the children are now going to college.
He gave me so much confidence in myself. He always used to tell me, "You're so smart, Elva. You can get good grades. One day you can go to college."
Many of them have graduated for college, have really good jobs. The families now own their own home, they have their own car.
Father Frank actually came in and helped them with the whole process of getting her into college. He helped her with all the financials and everything, helped my parents out tremendously in that aspect because they had no idea. She was the first in our family to go to college. And Father Frank was the one who was there from her first day to the day she graduated.
They always have that sense that God's presence is there with them, blessing them with the accomplishments that they've achieved.
We're always volunteering in the church because we know that he needs the help. And for what he's done for us, the least that we can do is volunteer and help him out.
When I first came here, we had one Mass. Now we have 8 Masses every weekend. And the reality is I come in here at 8 o'clock in the morning and I'm here till 10 o'clock at night, almost 7 days a week.
I don't even know how he does it. There's been nights where I pass and then I would see the light of his office still turned on.
Hemos venido como en las tardes, como a las 8:30 a buscarlo. Por nuestras niñas a veces se ponen enfermas y a pedirle que le dé la bendición y está muy dispuesto a hacernos esto.
There were times that he would come to our house to eat dinner and he'll get a phone call from a family member or somebody in the parish. He would leave and go help them at their home, whether it was a broken pipe with computer issues and no matter what your issue is, he's there for you 24/7.
Hemos visto muchas veces que él anda muy cansado, se ve muy agotado, pero él no se da por vencido. Él se preocupa mucho.
You know, just always just being there, you know, and being so understanding and giving everything to this community. You know, sometimes like I see his gray hairs and I see that he's aging. And like obviously like I think we all get worried because I think he's like the whole glue to this church.
People are looking for God's presence. Vocations are very needed to be able to bring His presence into people's lives.
You want to look at a good model to be a priest? Father Frank.
My little one, he's an altar boy. He mentioned so many times, like, I want to be like Father Frank.
Father was born to be a priest.
He's the perfect example of what a priest is.
We're truly grateful for him because he has helped us out tremendously in many ways. So we're always praying for him so he doesn't leave. He's always around.
You know, like it's like a whole tree. I feel like our community, right? So he's like the trunk, you know, to the tree. Like, you know, like he's always there. Like even if like the leaves fall or like, you know, winter comes and everything, like he's still there.
Que ojalá que haya jóvenes que quieren ser sacerdote que llegan a tener esa paciencia como él tiene.
Don't give up on it. He didn't give up, you know, because God's love was, you know, above all.
It's given a lot of meaning to my life. It's not easy, but at the same time you come to realize that this whole parish is my family.